Well, hello there. Welcome to your monthly numerology here at Readings at the Round Table. I'm Jennifer. We may have met before. And this is your numerology for June 2025. So, full disclosure, I've recorded this intro a couple of times. One time, my sound went out and I didn't notice. So now I have the little sound bar right in front of me. So hopefully I won't miss it if my sound completely conks out like it has in the past. Second, my little friend back here, Mouse, yeah, he has disrupted a couple of recordings, but no matter what happens this time, even if he gets in the way, I'm going to soldier on. That's what we're going to do. So let's get to it. June. All right, now I'm going to do the overview of astrology, and it is a very quick snapshot kind of overview. I usually do not cover a lot of the aspects, especially aspects with the moon and Mercury, because they move really fast, right? However, today I am going to cover a few aspects that I think are important, and that's where I'm going to leave that. So we're starting off June. June 6th, we have Venus moving into Taurus. And Venus loves being in Taurus because Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So Venus loves being in Taurus. It's a very happy place. I think this is going to be a good time for all. Money-wise and romance. Mostly when it's in Taurus, it's about money. It's about material things. But, it still has that little bit of a connection with love. On the 8th, we have Mercury moving into Cancer. But before Mercury moves into Cancer, which is about 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mercury is going to be conjunct Jupiter in Gemini. So while Mercury is still in Gemini, Mercury is going to be conjunct Jupiter. And that's some good luck, because our planet of communication is conjunct our planet of luck. I love that because, I'm double ruled by Mercury. Yeah, good times. So lots of stuff going on with that. However, Mercury does move into Cancer about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 8th. Then on the 9th, Jupiter decides to jump ship and join Mercury in Cancer. So Jupiter moves into Cancer as well. This is a much happier place for Jupiter. It's not that Gemini was a bad place for Jupiter. It's just that Gemini is opposing the sign that Jupiter rules, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So that's an opposition that usually they're not happy, opposing the sign that they're ruling, these planets. So this is a happier place for Jupiter. Jupiter is going to be in a good space for the next 12 months in Cancer. Now, we have a lot of aspects on this day, a lot of aspects. The ones that are really important is the moon is square Mars, Mercury is square Neptune and Saturn, because Neptune and Saturn are right there together in Aries. Venus is square Pluto. So there are some squares that I just feel like are really important. And nowadays, when things are squaring Saturn, it's squaring Neptune as well. And it's it's kind of a double whammy with those squares in Aries. So just letting you know, and you can take a deep dive with some of these other wonderful, wonderful astrologers on YouTube and Instagram and listen to what they're saying about these squares. Because a lot of times the astrologers will cover them a couple of days before it happens. So that way I'm telling you when it's going to happen and you can go check it out. Okay, on the 11th, we have a full moon in Sagittarius that hits its peak at 3:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love a full moon in Sag. Oh my gosh. Full moon in Sagittarius is just so much fun. It really is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, again, you always want to invite a Sagittarius to your party, right? Yeah. So on the 17th, we have Mars moving into Virgo. It is a good place for Mars. It is very, I mean, this is a very analytical fight. Maybe not one that you want to pick. I'm just saying. So with Mars and Leo, Mars is already fiery. I mean, it rules Aries. And so Mars and Leo is a very fiery, like, you know, we bring fire to the fight, right? Being in Virgo, Mouse, what are you doing? Please don't knock down the camera. I really do love this cat. Mars in Virgo is still going to be a tiny little bit fiery, but it's going to be more analytical, and it's still a bite that stings, let me tell you. But Mars in Virgo is going to want to take things apart and just be like, and you did this in 1987, and you did this in 1992, and this in 2006. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the Virgo energy with that fun-filled, like, Mars. So on the 20th, we have the sun moving into Cancer, and we have summer solstice. Oh my gosh, I love summer solstice. It's just an incredible time of the year. On the 25th, we have a new moon in Cancer that hits its peak at 6:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is square Saturn and Neptune. Luckily, it does move really quickly because the moon moves really fast. So it is square Saturn and Neptune. Not like it's not the worst thing, but I'm not loving all these squares with Saturn and Neptune involved. Again, I encourage you to take a look, and I encourage you to look up like the squares in astrology and what's going on, because this is about numerology, and this is just an overview of the astrology of the month, so you can kind of see what's going to happen with your life path number. On the 26th, we have Mercury moving into Leo. So Mercury in Leo is just right out there. Oh my gosh, Mercury in Leo wants to be seen, wants to be like right on top. I mean, you know, this is an Oscar winner right here, Mercury in Leo. So Mercury in Leo is a lot of fun, very talkative, and definitely like right up front wanting to be seen. It's really awesome. So at the end of the month, at the end of June, we have Saturn and Neptune in Aries, Venus and Uranus in Taurus, Jupiter and the Sun in Cancer, Mercury in Leo, Mars and South Node in Virgo, Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto's retrograde right now. And we still have North Node in Pisces. So we have 3 planets in fire, 3 plus North Node in, 3 plus South Node in Earth, 1 plus North Node and the Sun in water, and 1 in air. It's very exciting planetary-wise. I know. I really do feel like it's a good month. I mean, I never look at any month as just going, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're going to be in this. No, because there's good and bad in everything, and there's always a shadow side, right? Right. But if you're prepared for it, it doesn't like pull you into like a sinkhole. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. All right, so for the crystal of the month for June, oh my gosh. So, I looked up a couple of things about this lovely crystal. It is citrine. So excited. And all of the publications and the website that I used to find the information for citrine are listed in my description below. I used the Healing Oracle Crystal Healing Cards by Rachelle Charman, the Encyclopedia of Crystals by Judy Hall, and this wonderful website that I found, and I love talking about some of these websites that I found, is Tiny Rituals. So please go check them out. They're pretty awesome. I love finding these places that, you know, talk about these crystals, and it's just fantastic. It's awesome. So go check them out, please. This is citrine, and of course, this is not going to be in focus. Why? Why is this not in focus? I mean, there we go. Thank you, Canon. All right, so this, the card that I pulled is from the Healing Oracle Crystal Reading Cards, Citrine, and it's about abundance. But that's not all. Oh my gosh. So citrine, you can find it in like a sort of milky white color. You can find it really clear, tumbled, rough. You know, they come in all. And really pale orange, like a really light yellow, or a darker orange. And I have examples of all. These are the ones. Okay, let me try that again. The chakras that citrine really, really hits home with is the sacral and the solar plexus. It does work on all chakras, but the sacral and the solar plexus are the biggest ones. It's the number one thing that you want to bring in with those two chakras. And I really, solar plexus is my favorite chakra, so I think we've talked about that before. I do have two examples that have small Herkimer diamonds in them. It's really kind of cool. And I picked up some extra ones because, again, I'm re-recording this because of my little incident. But I picked up some extra ones from a local shop called Heart, Soul, and Art. And these are so pretty. Oh, I can't wait to show them to you. So I'll pull these in just a minute and show them to you on the overhead camera. But some of the places that I read in in the cards and in the book, was that they never need to be cleansed. But I also read it, like, again, and I can't remember which one of these in the website or the publications, the best way to cleanse them is to sit them in the sun or to run them underwater. Now, I typically sit all of my crystals out in the full moon to like clear and cleanse my crystals. However, there are crystals that prefer the sun. There are crystals that prefer just like sitting on like earth. There are crystals that prefer just running underwater to clear them and cleanse them. I don't know if this crystal really does have to be cleansed or not, but I choose to clear and cleanse my crystals because let me tell you something. I get my money's worth out of these crystals. I use the crap out of them all the time. So just letting you know. This particular crystal is an amazing energy clearing stone. It absorbs, transmutes, and grounds negative energy. It attracts abundance, so it's perfect to put in your wealth corner with feng shui. It promotes joy, inner calm. It increases energy, and like if you're working in a creative space and you need to increase your creativity, this is going to be your best friend. Really is. This is a crystal that brings in the joy and magic of life. I mean, it really is associated with the sun. So there's a lot of joy here. This is a great stone for emotional balance. This is perfect stone for the 9-year that we're in for the numerology because it helps us to shift out old patterns of negativity and reverse self-destructive behavior. Thank you, Mouse, for cleaning yourself. Like right here, I'm just going to try to block him. I mean, really, he's going to like take a bath on camera. I told you I was just going to let this go. I mean, it's really so good. This crystal is definitely a fantastic purification crystal on all levels. I mean, it can cleanse all chakras, but it's really, really associated with the sacral and the solar plexus. It assists in manifesting wealth and abundance. It is a super awesome, fantastic crystal. Now, let me move my notes out of the way so I can show you some of these awesome crystals. Okay, sorry, stuff got disconnected. Okay, so these are clear and milky crystals, but these are the citrine that I bought from that lovely store, Heart, Soul, and Art here in Marietta. These are so awesome. Then I have some that like I've had for a long time. This is also another tumbled stone that's, you can see it's more milky, right? But you can see the yellow in it. Here's some that are not as clear, and these aren't tumbled. These are just the rough stones. so pretty. And this is one that has the Herkimer in it. I also have another one that has the Herkimer in it. Hang on. Oh, yep, right here. And you see how dark this one is? You see the darkness of the citrine? Isn't that just gorgeous? And these are ones that I have sitting on altars in my house and right over here in my wealth corner, you know. But oh, those are so pretty. Here's another one that is sort of, it's not exactly a smoky, but it's a lighter one. I think it is called a smoky citrine. One that has a little bit of a darker citrine in it. Then someone gave me this as a gift, and I keep it beside my bed. It's just a little vial of citrine. I love it. I love it. I love it. So there's all the citrine examples that I have. So you can find it. And I have some jewelry, but I've packed it up because I am going to do a pop-up shop. I do have some jewelry that I think is just fantastic to wear, like really close to the skin. It's awesome. So all of that being said, I'm really excited about June. I am. And before I get into your individual numerology, I will be pulling from for advice cards today, I will be pulling from Moonology, the Oracle cards, and the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. There we go. Thank you, Canon. The Goddess Guidance Oracle deck, those are the cards I will be pulling from today. And as usual, I will be reading from the Moonology book because there's so much information in that booklet that I can't ignore it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful June. And let's stay tuned and see what's going on with your individual life path numbers. Hello, Life Path 11. All right. Are you ready for this? Because June is an 8 month for you. And 8 is the number of abundance. In fact, when we turn the number 8 on its side, it becomes the infinity symbol. And earlier today when I was doing Life Path 2, because also an 8 this month, or for June, and I was like, it becomes the infinity number. It's the infinity symbol. Yeah, I'm going to get that right. But, oh, by the way, I have wig glue in my eye. It's just a little irritated right now. I am going to be going to the doctor, so don't come at me, but they're just not open right now. So, anyway, back to neat. 8 for you in June is fantastic because everybody's luck is going to be a bit elevated with Jupiter moving into Cancer. Not only that, we have Venus moving into one of its homes, into Taurus, and that is about the material. That's about the material, like wealth. So I love this. I do love this. Now, 8 is an abundance. It is, like I just said, it's the infinity number. Like when we turn it over on its side, it becomes the infinity symbol. I said it again. But this is more about, it's an abundance of everything. It's like the pentacles. The pentacle cards in the tarot are not just about money. It's about knowledge. It's about the things that we hold dear in the material world. It also is about our health. And all of that is coming in for you this month. Power, inspiration. It's all there. It's all like right there at your fingertips. Kind of love that. Kind of love that. But 8 is also understanding that there's an infinite supply and no one else is taking your stuff. No one else is taking what really rightfully belongs to you. They aren't. The mantra of the 8 is I embrace the power within me while honoring the divinity in others. The thing is, we all have that. We all have power. We all have divinity. It's just, we all have some of the divine within ourselves. What are we expressing though? Yeah. And that comes down to like this abundance. This abundant time, this 8 time. Now, 2024 was an 8 years, so you kind of got like a view of what this month could look like for you. So when you're in a month of abundance, when you're in a time of 8, you have to be careful what you're focusing on, because that's what's going to be coming in. So are you focusing on the lack, or are you focusing on the prosperity, the abundance of it? So think about that as you're entering into June, and what you really want to put the emphasis on. Okay. The 8 vibration is also a time of service. It's a time of seeing the best and seeing the potential in other people and trying to help them out. Trying to say, you know what? I see how great things can be for you. Let me help you. Let me do this for you. And there's Mouse. He wants to see the best in you too. It's also a time of reaping what you've sown. So if you've been putting out really good stuff, Life Path 11, then you're going to bring in some really fantastic stuff in this month. You really are. Isn't he cute? This is a very ambitious time. It really is. You're going to feel that ambition just coming to the surface and just being like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So the lesson of the 8, I just want to get that out, is to lead with compassion and not compassion for others and yourself. I want to emphasize that, and not with the ego. So when you're feeling that ambition rise up, don't let it overtake you. He's letting you know. He's letting you know. So with the shadow side of the 8, well, wait, there is another thing I want to cover. The vibration of the 8 is also giving an example of self-empowerment for other people, setting that example. The thing about self-empowerment, and I love how people just throw that word around so much these days, but the thing about self-empowerment is that means you've been through some crap. That means you have been through a load of it, and now you can set an example for that. That's not what all of us want to do, right? However, if you have been through it, now's a good time for you to say, I've been where you are. This is how I did it. You don't have to do it exactly like me, but this is how I did it. This is how I overcame it. So set a good example. Yeah, it's good. All right, so some of the shadow sides of the 8 is taking on responsibility for other people's choices, trying to fix people, and all of that stems from ego, that you can do it better than they can, that you can take over their problems, their issues, and do it better than they can. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Been there, done that. Does not work out. Also, a really unhealthy attachment to the material, which you do need to watch out for this month because of Venus being in Taurus. Venus being in Taurus is a great thing, but it also has some drawbacks, right? It does put the emphasis too much on the material. But come on, it's not terrible. I mean, yeah. Well, if we don't go too far with it, right? Yeah. So let me remind you of your mantra 11, which is, I am divine inspiration making a difference in the world today. You are making a difference in the world today because you are all about intuition and enlightenment, inspiration, illumination. You are out here creating a new way of communicating with people. You're meeting people where they're at and saying, I can talk to you wherever you are. I'm going to meet you where you're at. I'm going to try to guide you to someplace better, but that's your choice. And that's what you do. You do it so well. You are powerfully creative, and I love, love, love that, because you can convert dreams into reality. What? Reminding you of your lesson is embracing humility, altruism, and the willingness to convert fantasy into action. That is not the way with everyone. Not everybody can say, I'm dreaming about this, but I'm willing to work towards it and get there. Taking action. That's manifesting. That is manifesting. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Watch yourself, because this could be a heightened time of intuition, maybe even clairaudience or clairvoyance for you, even if you are already one of those things, because of the shifts that we have going on in astrology. So with Venus being in Taurus in its home, with Jupiter skipping on over to Cancer and being a lot happier, this could be a time where you don't feel the weight as much, and you feel that heightened sense of your clairvoyance or clairaudience. I don't know what is going on with my cats today. They've been stepping on the printer, knocking my cameras down. I mean, it's bedlam. It's bedlam. All right. Let's get, I do want to remind you, since you are a Life Path 11, that ignoring your spiritual gifts for a long period of time can lead to some pretty damaging physical problems, like consistent headaches, gallbladder, gallstones, even autoimmune disease. So let's let go of the migraines and let's just explore our spiritual gifts. Yeah, I mean, that's what May's been for you. This whole month of May has been a 7 months, so yeah. All right, let's see what advice cards we have coming up for you. What is he doing? Okay, as long as he's not cleaning himself on camera. I've had to block him with my head a couple of times a day, just back there like giving himself a bath. I'm like, I'm right here. Hello. Well, someone is sending me a message. Ooh, oh my gosh. Abundantia. I think I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. I'm Southern. I mispronounce everything. Prosperity. The universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. Shut up in an 8-month. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. Abundantia. I should really learn to pronounce some of these goddesses' names, or learn to pronounce them properly. Ooh, full moon in Libra. A win-win outcome is forecast. Wow! You're like, it seems like you're killing it, and these cards match. You know how I am. I love when that happens. Okay, full moon in Libra. Libra. Where's my glasses? Okay, the full moon in Libra, the sign of partnership, of falling in love, and of closely relating to someone else. Since full moons are about climaxes and conclusions, this card suggests you're either about to start a new relationship or that an important existing relationship is changing somehow, perhaps coming to an end or moving to a new level of commitment. It's important to remember that people come to us for a reason, and sometimes just for a season. If a relationship is ending now, it's doing so at the right time, so try not to fight it. This card can also refer to a professional relationship. There's a sense that you need to balance your ego with someone else's needs. A win-win outcome is possible with give and take. Doing so might be the answer to your question. Let go of that which is falling away. This is a 9-year in numerology. Maybe time to shift things out and let go. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today, Life Path 11. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful June. I hope your cats aren't going crazy in your house. And until we see each other again, get out there and make your magic. Bye.